Descendant from there. So here today we are going to learn about how to model in a Staad and each and every exercise we are going to do it. Each and every commands by a graphical mode. The first and foremost we will design the design. The Staad will form in an icon called you can see the case an IB where it has been loaded over here and the moment is active. So this was the Staad Pro icon over here. So after clicking the stand desktop icon, it will be coming into a form of the screen on a suite where it has been maintained by the Bentley software. And here the some of the project task has been given. If you have been recently opened some files, you can see the recent files. On this in window, if you click a recent file, you can see your what is the menu. What was a small scale model, you can see over to it. So other than here, you can see the advanced analysis engines and Staad Viva. Staad Viva is generally used for the bridge course. And other topics, new topics, what are the things being undertaken by the Bentley or will come over in technical supports, product new, what's the product new, suppose in 2018 or 2019, any cases and everything, or knowledge bases, or what's new. Some new commands may be added in the upcoming version when compared to the older version. That cannot be seen. Next, we can see the new project, open project base, configure, backup manager, and license manager. So in this one, new projects we will go to the new projects. Open projects will be take from the some updated some file which have been run. You can open via browser. Next, open project from project base. Here we have not done any project base, so we have left the project base. Next, configure. The configure is one of the most important one where we are going to use that is configure project. This is the most important one. If you set this one, you no need to worry about the further ones. Always it is going to give in the what type of example. You can see here the BC unit. What is the BC unit here? So there units can be form of English or a metric. English or a metric. So English it comes in forms of feet and inches. So metric will form in the form of SI units. That is SI units in metric millimeter, meter, centimeter, like that. So we are following the metric unit. Metric unit next. Example. Once again we are going to configure resources. What are the they compare the product with the use RAM connection for product license or use. So you need to go over to it. Input and output. Write the command in a single line format, whether a joint, member, plate, or solid. The joint coordinates significant systems of 6 systems or 8 systems. How many systems you want to have? How many systems you have? The maximum of 6 systems is generally used here, so don't touch what it is an error one. Error 5. So how many errors per single input? So it can take 10 and maximum it can take up to 100 errors. So based upon how much amount we are giving to it. Next, section profile table. What's mean the section profile table? See, if you are using the case, in many times the people who are using the section cases, it directly goes to the American one. Why? Because the people have not configured the one. So suppose if I am configuring the Indian code, it directly goes to the Indian code instead of the custom code. Or you can have, or I want to candidate in database. You can see here what are the database communities. What are the communities? American, Australian, British, British, Canadian code, Chinese code, Dutch code, European code, French code, German code, Indian code, Japanese codes, etc. So a number of codes has been here. You can see here. So out of this, these all are general codes. Next, what about the steel codes? Code from steel codes, steel joist tables, and aluminum tables, and timber tables. So this all the cases. In cases, so here always is going to be the current default is American. If you want to have the case, you have to obviously get and apply it. In general, Some people wants to have white background, and some people wants to have a black background. So white background, if I click the white background, accept it, it's going to have the white background. Black background is white background. So generally we used to have only the white background. Next, you fold Staad design codes. So previously we seen that all the codes are be made up of only the American code. So here we can set to change the code. So what's our steel code for India? In India, generally we will be using only IS 800 2007 is the latest one LSD. For concrete, what's the code we used to do? We used to do IS 456 2000. IS 456 will be used. For aluminum core, India doesn't have, and the Staad also doesn't have. For timber also, the Indian doesn't have. So we leave the same case. For shear wall core, we are having IS 456 once again here. So shear wall design. So these are the cases. Next, apply. So when I'm applying over it, will be applied. Next, global access orientation. So what is a global orientation? See, in general, we'll always used to have a low in an Indian practice whenever we used to have X in horizontal direction, Y in vertical direction. The same way, we want to have Y in vertical direction and the loads are going to be acting against the gravity, so we used to want. If you want to have a Z as up, you cannot carry on. Here I want having Y should be an up. So I am working on this one. Next, working directive. So where I want to save my files. It says the temporary file unless you give the cases. So let it be in the same way. And what are the other channels? Bentley generation, education, news. So whatever the case we can so accept it. So first we order the case. We have to configure the way we have to do it. Okay, configure the way and we have to do it. Okay, configure the way and we have to do it. So once again, now when you're going for a new before new project, we always used to have a stored a separate file for a document for the entire program to be stored. So I have created a file called named as a Staad. Okay, I created a file named as a Staad here. You can see over here. So now I'm going to the new projects. What my project? I'm going to have a plan structure one where I'm supposed to store. I want to store this file in the where I have been stored. I given a file in a desktop. In a desktop, what was the file name? My file name is called as a Staad. Then clicking over here and OK. So whatever I'm going to do in this modeling, everything will be stored in the Staad file. Next, what was the length and is going to be used or force? So I'm going to use the metric unit. I already changed, so it directly falls on the metric, and the load which I'm going to give as a kilonewton. In general, in India, we used to follow as a kilonewton per meter. So this was the case. So I'm going to go over here. Next, add beam concept, add plate concept, add solid concept, open structure visual, open editor visual, edit the job information. So let me go to the add beam concept first. In add beam, first and foremost, when I'm clicking over here, this is the window where I'm going to over here. So this was the grid view where I am going to use it. So before going to it, let me have some information. What are the graphical mode comes over here? We will have a very good special case. What is this file? The new says that to open a new file of the Staad Pro where you can model it or in any case open. Open the old projects. What you have been done. Close. Close the project. Open assume. What was the previous case we have done? The same thing will go on. Okay. Next. This was the case we have been working on. So see here, recent file it has come upon. Next, project wise, how to open it. Since I have not done any cases, it's not. Bentley Connect service login. If I want to have the services for license, etc., then I have to go with this one. Open backup manager. Next, what are the new? See here, I'm having the input file, error file, output file. So what is the input file? If I want to see the input file, this is the bottom input file. Output file I can see from here. Next, job information. So when I'm clicking the job information, it comes over. In general, in industries, they used to have what was the type of job. Example, uh, let me have as a power plant sector. So let me have a power plant at Chennai. What's my client? Let me have CPWD. But let me have when my the project was been over, when my project was over in 2017, December, and date was 12. And what was the how many number of projects is there in the industries? That's almost 123 projects. Okay, so this was my number project job number 2017, 12 month of 12th date and 23rd project. How much? What was the revision I'm making? This was my zeroth revision. I'm not done any revision. So, is there any part? No, I don't have any part of the condition. Zero. If there is any reference? No, zero. Who was the engineer? This is Satya. I am the designer. Okay. And who's be the checker? Let me have. Let me call as a Satish will be the case. And who is the approval? Rajesh will be the approval. So the person will be stored. So first time may be done, next checker will be done, and approval will be done. So these are the cases. Next I have to give the save data. And it has been saved and modified. Whenever I'm opening here, yes. So when the engineer has done over here, when the checker is done, then he has to give the date and approval. The data. And further data can be added. So what are the first data? How many number of node counts are there? Beam count, lead count, solid counts that can be added, and how many number of load cases, how many number of load cases are there, reference load cases are there, how many load combinations are there, whether the command prefers upon the timber design or concrete design or steel design or earthquake or whatever the designs, you have to give them more information to the conditions. Next next report setup. What are the report setup? What are the report setup with? Either the load case. Suppose we are given what are the load cases. See, in cases we can have about a 10 or 15 number of load cases, or 100 load cases can become upon. But only the few load cases or one or two load cases or a few load cases are only going to be difficult to have. So if you open an n number of load cases, what happens here? That the number of document pages will go about thousands. To limit the cases, we can limit the how many number of load cases are required. Three load cases, only the critical one. So we can say only the three critical. So the report will give only the three items. Whether the material to be added or not. Since I have not done any case, it shows only the material. Yeah, other than that case, we will give the analysis report and NXSS can be shown and more. Okay. Whether I have to go by the node method or by node method. So how many groups are I have made? Either with the column groups or beam group. I may have a two set of groups, one beam, one building into its expansion joint by expansion joint. I can make into group and I can do it. So either that way I have to do it or ranges. That is from this number to this numbers I have to do it or some about ranges of about example. Hmm, 50 beams I require, 1 to 50 beams I require, then I will get only the 50 beams. I don't require the remaining beams, which are the complicated one. I can show it, and that will be the more typical one, and that can be formulated to all others. Next, you can see about the steel design. When I'm having the steel design, what are the results I have to check is Whether I had to check all type of results or first for each beam or final for each beams. So what type of checks I have to do it. So that I have to say in initially for the return. So this result setup says that what is required. My analysis has been paused, but I have to set up a submit the report for the other people. What are the requirements, minimum requirements, so that it is as well. The the wastage can be removed. Next, picture album. So here you can see here some camera buttons will be here. You can see here. When I'm clicking over it, it's automatically come over to the report setup. So in this report setup, you can directly add the hmm, print to your report, and that gives a very detailed one. The options. If I want to have a header folders, you can give a header folder, page outlines, footer, what is the case. Next, name and logo. I can include my company's name and logo along over to it. So that what happens over here? I don't need to have a news over here. So this comes under then my company brand names. This document belongs to me. So it can be print with the name and logo. And load and save. How to save the document? Save us. So if we save us, what I can do as a report. What type of report? I can say one case and I can do it. And next I can go for my print. So this was about my report setup and the print. Whether you could command print or put command print or a report, whatever the case. Next, what is the print review report? So whether I want to save in the print review report. Next, export that report. The report can be here. The two ways we can export the report, either by a Windows Word, MS Word, or with a text file. Whichever way you can export the file and import. The import from the some other files can be incorporated to your standard. So what are the files? The model can be created by in 3D DXF file or QSEASA file or strand B or create a new model with the CIS format. This can be created among over to it. Okay, created among over. So save the file, save as file, run the external program, recent files for other files, listen and exit. So these are the commands are given in the file. Next we'll go to the edit command. Undo option, redo option, cut option, copy option, play option, play options, take picture, copy picture, edit input command file, creating a VB macro, editing the VB macro. What is the input file? We can give the input file. So what are the keys we have given today? The job information. What was the job information given? I given that today's date 18 December case. What was the project name, job name again? Power plant child. Who was my client I given? CPW. What was the hour number I am given? 2017 in 12th December. Okay, so here also I will do the 12th December. In 12th I got my what? Okay, and 123rd project number of that year. Since this is my first one, I have not done anything. So this is a 0th edition. Part is 0 and references 0 I am given. Who was engineers I am given. Designer was Senthil. Checker was Satish. Approved by Rajesh. So these are the cases. And next here I'm giving the input with how many number length I can give it. So that is up to 79 characters I give. The space is also one character. Like that I can give up to 79. If I want to edit it, I can give the edit it. This was my case. So this was about the Staad editor. Next, what is the creating background? if you are having any macro file, then you can incorporate it and you can do it. Next view. We can view by zoom options. The same the view can be made as a shortcut and you can have. What is this one? This gives you will have a very big structure that gives it to the add due to the display. That is when a small place, small in view, the entire structure can be seen. This is nothing but a dynamic zoom. So I'm clicking over here. I can see here the zoom, how it is zoomed. Next, this was a zoom extender. So what is the case? I can have like this. At the point, if I'm giving it to zoom at that point, in order to go over here. Next, zoom at the positive, zoom at the negative, and zoom factor. With some factors, I can zoom in. Next, dynamic zoom. If I'm having over here, it will be moving all cases. Next is span. How to make it move one structure from here to another. Next, zoom. Using magnification. If you want to see any bearings and etc., you can use the magnification class and you can do it. And this one is called as a render view. How it is in 3D format. Will be used. So these are the cases comes in the view. Next tables. How many number of nodes, beams, section properties, material properties, supports, node support, node displacement, support reactions. These all details can be created and added for your pieces. Next, orientation. How the way you want to have either you can have the orientation. So there is some orientation over here. This gives it x1, back side, right side, left side, top view, bottom view, isometric view. If I want to have rotate something, you can rotate in x direction, rotate up direction, in down direction, rotate to left, rotate to right, rotate spin to the left, rotate spin at the right. So these are the ways they will be have. So let me see about the 2 minutes. So next we are going to see about the toolbars. So what is the toolbars? We want other file. If you give the file, it will be disappear. You can see here that it has been disappeared. So now I want this file to be there. Project wise, you can see here this will be getting viewport. Project wise, print, print, preview, vScript. So I don't want this one. Suppose I don't want to have this one. Take this one and put it in. Suppose I want to add this one. Okay. One by one will go. Print structure. So this was the structure table. Input scale units, change in graphical display units, current section, symbols and labels, load, dimensions, node and node distance, and remove all nodes, information, and scale. And if you want to have any insert any text, you can use it. View, view. In that whether I want to have a zoom in, zoom out, or pan move here or render view, it's the view commands. Rotate, isometric view, bottom view, top view, top from rotate, rotate up, rotate down, rotate left, rotate right, spin left, spin right, and spot out something and use that with the rotation. Mode is a modeling mode, post-processing modeling mode before analysis, after analysis, post-processing mode. Next, this two has been completed. Next, you can go for interactive steel design. Next, you can go for interactive RC design. Suppose you want to go for a bridges, then Staad Beaver. You want to have a foundations, then Export Staad foundations. Section. So what is the section? This one is cursor icon, beam icon, beam cursor, plate cursor, surface cursor, solid cursor, geometry cursor. Geometry cursor inclusive of node, beam, and plate. So this one is called as a geometry cursor, where it will not include any solid cursor. Why solid cursor and surface cursor? Because these are a 3D. This says about only the geometry, dot, line, and plate. This is node, beam, and plate can be seen. So this is only to select only the text, whatever the text you are given, that's only the case. This is used for the editing only the load cursor. So this was load cursor. This one is for the support cursor, member release. So where do you generally use to have the member release? Suppose if you are having a two beams, two primary beams, and the intermediate one beam has been inserted, and you want to have that beam to be act as like a simply supported condition. So what is a simply support condition is supposed to? It transfers only the vertical forces to the adjacent beams. So in that places we can release the forces. So that place we used to use the case. Next, filter sections. I want to filter the sections. N number of sections has been used. I want to filter the case. How do you use in Excel sheet? Same way we will be using that one called as a filter sheet. Next, select the joints. So select the joints. Generally, it will not come in the normal one. It will come only in the steel joints, not over here. Next, geometry. What is the geometry? To create only the beam element and the plate element majorly. So beam element will come upon joining two consecutive nodes. So if you have a two page, then you suppose a beam. Plates having about two types of four node element, multi node element, and edge. The surface can be also be created. Next, eight noded solids can be created. And next, nodes and beams based upon our snaps. Now we are going to in a beam. I want to insert an end number. Then we have to reach this insert node is to break the self will generate this will use have a or plate elements. Plate elements is the final method plate uses to use the plate element and insert for opening each circle. Suppose I want an opening in sector here one is used for the opening circle. Opening uses surface element and general. What is the general? A means not how to get either by translation repeat or by rotation circular repeat or by mirror or by generator or by the free flow grid is or by strip number. So there are five ways to count the set member. Set member can be increased by the following. That is the intermediate member. Then contribute the node to the beam. It gives directly over to every unit. Four boundary conditions. Next, elements, name elements, type elements, specific elements. Next, what are the boundary conditions? Boundary conditions, support conditions, loading conditions. Next, the specification. What will be the specification? That is giving access, member list, or irreducible group tables, etc. So we have defined the specification. So these are called specification. So now you are done all this. Now you see the result of shape process, shape process one, shape process then torsion, what I said, torsion over here, bending at one, bending at z, beam stresses, blade stresses, solid stresses, deflection, motion, animation, and something, etc. Or you can have it download the labels. What is in the label? The turn of the individual node. Whenever connecting the node, it will have a node number, x value, y value. You want how to distribute the same for the visual beam, same for the plane, same for the circle. Next is what is the field design? You want to have physical member node, physical member cursor, from member to this member, auto format, grid connection design, view design character. You want to know something view design. Next design, set up the connection with the this will be used for rules and then you use for now if I want to have change this really it can go. Suppose I want to cancel this. So I can change that. Same way, I want to add some. Suppose I want to remove this camera. So where they can on the rotate the labels that they can so in order to have my own diagram, I can have a small some so that my screen will have a good picture of the people. So you're seeing the toolbars, next options. What are the options? View highlights. I want to change the color. You can change the colors. Or how many width I want to have, 3 width or 4 width highlights for the whole structure. For zoomed area, what want the color? I can have next tolerance. What should be the tolerance limit so that the duplication can be reduced? The tolerance class about 0.001 mm, then you can have per angle about 30 degrees. So this can be also reduced. So based upon the so if it is accuracy can take up next tables. So when I'm having the tables, you may choose to use the what type of font I want to use. Arial, regular, or 8 or whatever the case, we can change it. Or what the Western, Arabic, Western means English, what type of script. You can see that here. You can change the case Arabic, whatever it is. In general, we'll be using a Western. Assign cases. So all the labels dialog open the labels. Only one label has been selected in the dialog box. So all the labels are selected items in folder. So what are the things you want to say? Assign. That is assignments. In a member, I'm assigning my load. What color should be cases? So I'm giving as a blue color to be indication. Node labels. How to be node to be lead. Suppose I'm having a point for where to be made. Whether it should be left, center, or right. In general, you should have the letter at left and vertical alignment at the top. What should be the font? Regular, Arial, adapter. If you want to change the font, you can change it. Next, same beam. What is the beam number? What was the material property? It will be showing in clearly. Same thing, where to provide it. What should be the separator? Whether I want to have a comma or this or colon or whatever the way, you can give us a separator. And what is the reference? Or is there a material or one you want to have P1 material or which way you want to have, you can select it. How much the pixel should be the case, that also you can select it. Next, same way the plate label. Next, solid label. Next, load label. Next, the load icon. When I'm having a load icon, what are the things to be seen? Joint force can be seen for a nodal load means you can see joint load, main load, displacement, time history, seismic. If it is a plate load, pressure, temperature, strain. Surface means pressure. Member load means distributed force, that is uniformly distributed load. Distributed moment means uniformly distributed moments. Concentrated force, point load. Concentrated moment, where the secondary beam is acting at the primary beam as a fixed connections. Floor load, that is flooring area or slab dead load, everything comes in the floor area. Area, much about the wind load is going to act. We are using any pre-stressing forces, temperature, strain. If you are using solid loads, then phase pressure and attrition. What the unit? So this was my case. What should be the next one unit? What type of font? Whether it should be left or right, etc. Structures unit. How many decimals I should place it? If it is linear, how many decimals? So this is the way how much decimals I have to place. Per meter, it is 3. Per displacement in mm, you can have to reduce to 0. Kilonewton per mm for linear spring, you can reduce it. Rotation also you can reduce it. Temperature, kg. Section. If you are using a centimeter square area, if you want to use meter square, minimum square, then you can reduce to 0. Moment of inertia, you can make to 0 or you can have to meter for 4. Dimension, mm, or it have 0. Material property. What is meant by EG? Elastic property. We don't need to have much 0. Density kg per m cube. This also need to be 0. Alpha can have it. So same for the force here. How much unit displays decimal place to be given? So that can be controlled over from the option. That's for the dimension. Now we are going to give it. Next. Set colors. View highlight colors. If I want to select it, what will be the view highlight color? I can select it. Entities for beam, this is the one. For plate, I'll have this will be the color. If I'm having the solid, this will be the color. If I'm having the surface, then. So if you want to change the color, I can change the color by W. In my case, I can change the color. Forces. So will be, you can change the color. Whistles, you can change the color. Limits. If it's illegally with one color, see the limit. You can show away one color. No dimension also you can show. So this is the way. This structure tooltip option. What is the tooltip option? Wait for 1 minute. So tooltips. In node, if I'm having any node, it gives the node number, displacement, x direction, y direction, rotation x, minimum x, maximum x, etc. will be given. Support fx, y, z, ms, my, mz will be given. If I do not you get this one, just you can take it. Okay. In general, we used to have all this. Coordinates means x, y, z. That coordinates will be x will go to b. In beam what's the case? The beam number will be the case. If you won't have any length, you can have the length of the case. If you won't have any incidence, you can have. If you won't have the property, you can have. In property name, if you have been given, you give the name. If you won't have any area of the section, it give the area of the section. It will give the moment of inertia in x direction, y direction, and z direction. If you have been released any cases, if you have been on an A end starting point, x, fy, fz, mx, my, and mz. The same thing for at the end, fx, fy, fz, mx, my, mz. And end forces. What is the end forces? Starting point. The beam end forces can be at starting or can be at the ending. If you are having at the starting, what will be the case? fx, fy, fz, mx, my, mz, fx envelope, fz envelope, fy envelope, mx envelope, my envelope, mz envelope. The same thing for the ending. fx, fy, fz, mx, my, mz, fx envelope, fz envelope, fy envelope, mx envelope, my envelope, mz envelope. And what will be the actual ratio? So this can be next for a plate. For a plate, we have what are the cases? Plate number will be the more important. Next, incidence. What is the property over the case? In property, in general, thickness. Plate can have the thickness with the varying. How? The four corners will be saying about the thickness. What will be the corner here? What will be the thickness? Corner B thickness, corner C thickness, and corner D thickness. Release. The same thing as like a beam, we here also used to have the release. Why here the release having node A, node B, node C? Because there is a four node plating. If the four node plating means in each node, what happens? We will have the equations. What are the known equations? Fx, Fy, and Fz. Mx, My, and Mz. Based upon this condition, we will have same will be for the node B. Fx, Fy, Fz, Mx. Whatever the way you want to see it, you can see it. It's same for the solid. For solid, only the number and incidence is same. For surface, the same. So what will be the time to display? It gives about 500 milliseconds. You will give the case. Next. structural tips you have seen. Next, hide more bar. So it has more, the hide has more bar has been added. You can see here, if I want to see the hide mode bar, this is the hide mode bar. What is the case? Where we are seeing here modeling, post processing, connections, interactive steel design, interactive RC design, B1. The same thing has been used. Modeling, post processing, steel design, concrete design, foundation design, RAM connection, bridge deck, advanced slab design, piping, and earthwork designs. Can we see 3D rendering? In the rendering view can be seen. And if you want to have the refresh, you can have either you can use an F5 button or you can use it. Next, we'll see the tools. See here multiple structures. How many number of multiple structures are we checked? There are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 structures are there whenever you're doing for a modeling. Whenever you're doing a structure, it should be as only for a one structure. If you're having multiple, then you have to say about the master node or a slave. Generally, it will be acting as a one structure. Otherwise, it's not going to be acting as like a single structure. So this command plays a major role. If not, it will give a multiple number of errors when you are doing an analysis. Next, when you are seeing about the duplicate, n number of duplicates can be come upon. So nodes, members, and places. To check if there is any duplicate members are there, where we are given in the configuration itself, there if the minimum tolerance limit is 0.001. If it is the case, it's going to show the how many duplicate members are being press node members and case. So using this, we can identify the number of cases. R4 nodes. R4 nodes are nothing but a node which are not connected to any member or any place. It's just a case. So it has to be removed. Otherwise, it will be given some amount of warnings will be given to it. Wire plate. The plate which has not been connected to any other members, it gives zero length member. The member doesn't have any length, but it's be acting as case between the two nodes. It generally forms only at the alpha nodes. Overlapping members. If a member has been overlapped to another member, then you can identify by this member. So you have to check for the overlapping member. Improperly connected plates. The plates has all four nodes to be connected perfectly. Then only the proper nodes forces will be transferred to the case based upon the finite element analysis. If they are connected properly, then you can now clearly get the result. Next, beam and the plate. If a beam is running from one end, the plate is also to be connected according to the speed. So the connectivity of the beam and the plate. Why? The beam transfers the load to the plate, or the plate transfers the load to the connectivity is not why the loads always transfers via so the mode is positive and for slowly phase the negative warning you have to see the potential whenever it is going to be so the Jacobian display has to be check for the map with the same method. This is the best to indicate we find the incident of this data property. You have to check it. Data property calculator. You can use the calculator option normal or in English or integers. Unit converter. The unit converter for a length, area, volume, amount of inertia, force, force per unit, stress or pressure, moment. It gives the input unit and it gives about the output unit. So this is the output. Suppose you want to have a custom, you can give the whatever the input, and based upon that you can get your output. If we give the display, the dimension of the unit can be come across tools. Display the node to node distance. It gives the distance between the node to node distance. Remove the node dimension. So once it has been marked, if you want to remove, then you have to remove. Set the grid. Set the input current value, meter, kilonewton, and if I want to change the units, I can change it. Current display unit, that can be also changed, where we have already seen the view option. Same thing has been get repeated. Cut section, in which way I want to cut X, Y or Y, Z, X, Z, or range between X, Y cases, or select to view by using the selected connection or whatever the way you can select it. Having any query in members, physical members, plate, solid surface, or list format. What was the list? Set the maximum list you want to have. That also list format can be used. Create user table. What is the beauty of this create user table? In Staad Pro, there was a called as a section builder. From the section builder, you can have a build-up section. From that build-up section, you can create the section property and you can add the material property to your structure. So this create the private table is one of the most important whenever doing for the steel structure for a built-up section mode. Section wizard. So this is going to be used for the structures, for the built-up sections. You want to go, I have to close the section and I have to come up. So this for the browser section database, section wizard. It will give in the inbuilt one. Create a new group. If you want, I have create a group, and what are the nodes I have taken, I can create it. Or configure user tools. Already we have seen connection tools, export to autopipe, utility, to-do list UID, update, Eurocode load canvas, add materials, etc. So you can be seen. Okay, I hope so. Everyone has what is the commands file, edit, new, and view up to tools. Whatever the graphical input so far has been done, I think everyone has clearly understood. And yes, as far as the first section is concerned, first tutorial class is concerned, it comes to an end. So by next section, we will go for the geometry, commands, analysis, mode, and window help. After completion of the next section, we will go for how to model a section using the nodes, members, and nodes and members. That's third section. And fourth section will be using how to apply the loading conditions, how to apply the loading conditions, how to run the analysis, how to sort out the errors. In fifth class, we will be seeing about the how to see in edit command, start editor command, how to incorporate the command, how to rectify the commands, and etc. We will be seeing. In sixth class, we will be using the plate elements and we will be having for a structure. In 7th class, we will be doing for the RCC structure. In 8th class, we will be doing a steel classes. In 9th class, we will be using the combination of this steel and concrete. In 10th module, we will be seeing about the model with the using plate elements and surface element with the structure. In this one, 11th class, we will be seeing about how to model the shear wall structure and how to analyze it and do it. In 12th class, we will be doing the steel trusses, how to check it, how to analyze it, and how to apply the wind load forces. In 14th class, we will be seeing about how to apply the earthquake loads and etc. So the classes will be continuing for per hour basis. So until then, follow up. Until then, bye. This is Central Point and bye. Thank you for your support.